Hey, Ty's got somebody in his gun sights. Welcome to Lucky 13. You know, a lot of people say, including Blue, she's ready to go. Are you guys ready to go? A lot of people say it's unlucky 13. I'll tell you what's unlucky when you go in the corners with guys like Darcy Tucker. Right, Blue? We're ready. Let's go. Darcy's one of those guys that makes you keep your head up and he lets you know he's around. He also knows when you dish it out, you gotta take it too, right, Darcy? Darcy wasn't the only guy throwing his weight around this year. Just watch. This is what I'd like to see you kids do more often. Shoot the puck. Kovalenko, top corner. Blake. Code on a breakaway, no less. The point while in midair. No wonder Boston gave him 5-0. West Walsh with this one. LaRock, only fight, eh? Ulanov, nice dance. Get your stick out of the way. Bundra. Mario with a one-timer. O'Neill with a beauty. What a year Jeff had. O'Neill again. Dempsey straightens him up. Oh, kids, always wear your throat guard. And now he scores along the ice. Boy, this guy showed he should have stayed last year with the Leafs. Top corner, Berezan. Aria. McEachran. The new wing, Brett Hall. Gonna love him in Hockey Town, USA. Murray with a rocket, get it? Okay, what time is it? It's goalie time. Tugnog with a no-looker. Dunham with a beauty. Only the goalie robs the Islanders. Hey, Rick Baker makes the save, but the Oilers think it's in. Shields with a nice one. Hey, Fernandez looks like Hasek on this one. Cujo. Checkmanic. Cujo again with a little help. Martin Brodeur. Van Beesbrook in his last year. Hey, Osgood Rob's a sure one here. Passmore. Tugnet again, the main reason the Blue Jackets did so well. Cujo, isn't he sweet? Kid dives back. Theodore. Rookie of the Year, Navika. Laline gets back in time. Checkmanic right on the noggin. All right, now we're going into the playoffs. Hey, it separates the men from the boys pretty fast. Hey, look, you got to be good in the playoffs, but you got to be tough, too. Let's go. All right, we're going to take a look at the Leafs and the Senators where Cujo broke their heart. Watch Ty set the tone right off the start with this hit on Haviland. Hey, I gotta admit, both teams were hitting. Must be tough on Ottawa. Every time they gotta face this guy and he'll break your heart. Just watch. Defense up there for a change. In game one in overtime, match scores the winner. Just put the puck on the net, kids. Game two, more the same. Hitting. More Cujo. Hey, there's Corson giving poor Yashin a hard time again. Ottawa finally scores on Cujo in the third period of Game 3, and it goes into overtime. And Corey Cross, of all guys, is the hero. Well, he did it again, and I was the only guy who said the Leafs were going to win. All right, it's Vancouver, Colorado. You knew Vancouver was going to have a tough time with all those injuries, and then they had to face this guy. Look at those eyes. As usual in the playoffs, both teams come out hitting. Vancouver tried to keep pace with Colorado, but the Avs were too powerful at home. Game 3 was back to GM Place in Vancouver, Colorado, went right after each other. Crawford put Essay in the net and he kept them in the game. Bertuzzi gives him the lead in the third. But good guy Adam Foote ties it up and sends it into OT. Forsberg ends a 17-game goalless streak in the playoffs with this one. Vancouver kept trying in Game 4. But Wall was too hot and the Avalanche start their march to the cup. Hey, what would the playoffs be without the Stars and Oilers meeting? The fans knew this was going to be a tongue war. It was going to be Salo and the Eagle, and they went save for save in the first game, and it goes into overtime. In Game 1, Langenberger scores the winner. Salo didn't have a chance. Oilers win Game 2 and the series is tied going back to Edmonton. They're still hitting. Okay, Stars are up by 2. Kevin Lowe pulls Salo and Ryan Smith scores to make it 2-1. With the goalie still pulled, Rem Murray scores with 6 seconds left to tie the game and send it to overtime. Oh boy! But Hitchcock gets the Stars going and Hogue scores a winner in OT, a real heartbreaker for the Oilers. Hey, there's no quitting in the Oilers though. In Game 4 they were looking to tie it up. Salo and Belfour were going at it game, and for the third time in 4 games it went into OT. Rookie Mike Comrie scores the winner to tie things up at 2 games. Boy, are they happy. They're taking no prisoners here, folks. Salo played great, and another game goes into OT. But the good guy from Kingston, Kirk Muller, gets the winner. Way to go, Kirk. Game 6 was just as tough as the last 5. Ryan Smith helps out Salo to keep the game close. But this empty netter by Medano was the final nail in the coffin for the Oilers. Dallas won, but boy, it took an awful lot out of them. I think this series killed them for the playoffs. Detroit Red Wings and the LA Kings. In the first 2 games, it looked like a laugher for the Wings, and Shanahan was just playing great, and were all the rest of the Wings. But oh no, Brendan breaks his foot blocking a shot, and Stevie Y hurts his leg, and that was the doom for the Wings. And to make matters worse for the Wings, Potvin started playing like he did way back when he was in Toronto. Game 4. LA's down by 3 goals in the third. Molinsky ties it with less than a minute to go. The rookie Eric Belanger scores the winner in OT to tie things up at 2 games apiece. Game 5, and Adam Denmark scores a winner. In an OT in Game 6, Adam scores the winner again. I told you I like that trade, and LA beats the Wings in 6 in a shocker. You know, I always ask my goalie, just make the first save. My defenseman should take care of the rest. But sometimes the defense can't get there. Watch Brodeur make that second effort. He's a beauty. Let's go. Like I said, I just want my goalie to stop the first one. Rush Brodeur, he stops Jaeger and then Mario. So stones the Wings. The Longo, what a beauty. Turek. Luce. Patrick does a number on the Flames. Brathwaite. Nabokov. Weeks. Cujo with 3. Graham. When will the defense learn the only guy they hurt is their goalie when they push a guy into him? In my imagination, does Cujo get run a lot? It says, boy, that kind of hurt. Strange things happen in hockey. I say it every year, you gotta watch out for your own teammates sometimes. Refs and linesmen have to keep their eye on things, too. Guy says, please be careful, sir. Look out! Watch out for the blue line, Igor. Salo saves his bacon here. Watch Havlik fall over the boards and then misses a breakaway. He had a tough shift. And there's McLean enjoying the game. You think coaching in the National Hockey League is easy? Take a gander at these guys. Yeah, throw that gum, Mark. Right off the water bottle. And right off the net can. Hey, watch Nashville's rookie Martin Caesar flirt with death here. Stu Grim says, "Who are you, kid?" And Marion shows him his name. But Stu's a good guy. He'd never heard a rookie European. Are you kidding? Hey, look at Darren doing his Esposito routine. Blues favorite, more hits. Folks, they say there's no hitting in the National Hockey League anymore. Watch these beautiful hip checks. Hey, folks, here's two guys that I call hockey players. Shanahan and Yzerman. Broken foot Shanahan, still give it a try. Yzerman, broken leg, still give it a try in the playoffs. Watch them put the puck in. Real guys, real hockey players, my type of guys. Now watch Stevie Wonder get the goal of the year. Or maybe this one. The fine Irish broth of a lad Shanahan does an end-to-ender. Cork to Drury, what a move! Watch this next one by Chris. Let's hope Alex does something like this for his $5 million for the Leafs. Huddy goes end to end. Reisner, what a beauty. A little house she going and zippo. Watch Boston Billy Garrett put on the Jets and go top corner. Dvorak. Hey, Tanguay with some psychic leg moves. And the $9 million man goes top shelf. Cowan gets a beauty. Friesen with another top corner. Ilias with a nice move. Hey, let's take a look at some more playoff series, starting with Colorado and LA. As usual, it was a goalie series, and it pitted the Cat and Patrick, and it would take 7 games to get a winner. Felix and Patrick went save for save most nights. Like all playoff series, there's no place to hide. LA needed to win Game 6, and it went into overtime, and the hero was Ben Murray. Hey, you know, a lot of people said this was a bad goal on Patrick, but watch the puck on edge, and it tips on him just at the last second. Yeah, but Game 7, and it was all Colorado. They win and head off to meet St. Louis Blues. Buffalo against Mario and the Penguins. Pittsburgh fans had a new hero, and it was John Hegberg, and he played for the Manitoba Moose during the season. Hey, look at Mario blocking shots. Jagger says you're getting all the dough and you own the club. You back check. It's Game 5 in overtime. Stu Barnes wins the game and puts Buffalo up 3-2. With less than a minute to go, Buffalo is up by 1 and Pittsburgh pulls the goalie. And look who's wide open to score the goal. How can they let a guy 6'5" be open? It's beyond me. Martin Straka wins it in OT for the Penguins. Game 7 goes into overtime, and Kasperitis wins. And just think, folks, Buffalo had it all wrapped up, and they lose it with seconds left in Game 6. That's tough. Leafs versus the Devils. The Devils and Scott Stevens beat the Hurricanes in a tough 6-game series where the Devils took no prisoners. Right, Ronnie? Can't keep a good guy down, eh, Ron? Martin Brodeur was getting into the zone, too. So it was Martin and Scott versus the Leafs, and you know last year it was a rough one, and this was a rough one, too. Even Mats wasn't going to take it from Halik this year. It was also going to be a battle between Brodeur and Cujo, who hurt his hand. The Leafs got Game 1 and made a big comeback in Game 2 with my buddy Stevie Thomas tying the game late in the third and sent it into OT. But Randy McKay wins the game for the Devils in OT. Boy, was Larry happy. He didn't want to lose Game 2 going back to Toronto.
Now, Game 3.
Cujo with a great save. Merton says I can do that too. In overtime, you have to be lucky, and the puck goes off across the stick and in. A heartbreaker for the Leafs. As usual, Game 4 had more hitting. And some more great goaltending. But the Leafs showed a lot of great heart and came back and won Game 4. Game 5 was back in New Jersey and the hitting continued. The game is tied with less than a minute to go, and Caberlet scores a winner with Corson sitting on Brodeur. Hey, the reason Pat's not jumping up and down, he's waiting to see if the referee's going to call a goal back. Game 6, and the Leafs look to wrap it up. Boy, they're still hammering. Boy, Mats hits the post, and then he hits the crossbar in the first period. I honestly believe if he scored these two, the Leafs would have won the game and the series and would have gone to the finals. Harnick gets a nice goal here, and the Devils win Game 6, and both teams start to rough up the goalies. Randy McKay gives Cujo a hard time, and they go at it. Again, my buddy Stevie Thomas puts the Leafs up by 1 in the first period. Why the Leafs let this guy go, I'll never understand. But it was all Devils after that, and they go on to win the series and beat Pittsburgh in the next round and go on to the finals to meet Colorado. Hey, you know, there's nothing better in the world than watching a goalie make a great glove save. Hey, sometimes you got to put on a show. That's okay. Watch Ole the goalie make the save of the century. Sorry, guys, it wasn't it. Let's go! Hey, is this the save of the year or what? Martin with 2 beauties. Theodore! Cujo with some beauties. Raw do his thing. Salo. Nabokov, Rookie of the Year. The Longo. Pucknot, Rob's Brewery. Essena, the only thing he does is win. Bluche. Now's the time to watch some of those soft hands at work. Now watch Joe Sakic weave his magic.
Sakic to Denmark in. Kinnick and a little backhand for Nuri. Murphy to Eiserman to Shanahan and in. Eiserman to Shanahan again. So quick you don't even see it. Larionov to Eiserman. Watch this pretty one. Crombie to Smith to Carter and in. Ginla to Savard. Darby to Yerzinski to Darby and in. That's a little give and go. Murray to Cleary. Ilias to McGinley to Ilias. Another pretty give and go. Samsonov to my favorite player, Thornton. Stick on the ice, kids. McKinnis to Pronger to Heck to Turgeon. Looks easy, doesn't it? Daze to Sullivan with another little give and go. More strange things in hockey.
Yeah, and this sums up Montreal's year. You know, I hate making fun of these guys. They are trying their best.
Must be a hole in that glove. You know, kids, we're having a lot of fun here with the goalies, but all young goalies should learn how to handle a Hey, Martin looks like a pretty good baseball player here. Pass it right out of the rink. He says, carry. That's not a penalty. Hey, folks, you can believe this or not, this is Dan Cloutier's first game with the Canucks and his first warm-up, and he takes 2 off the noggin. Yeah, they're still there, Danny. Danny better get some stronger sticks. Kuja says to Ty, you just can't believe the first offer the Leafs gave me. Okay, now we're going to look at the Blues and the Avalanche in the semifinals. What a series. First 2 games, it's all St. Louis, but the man Patrick is there. When you're getting this close to the final, things get a little mean and nasty. Atta boy, Chris. Keep her going. Joe was given a little extra attention here. Boy, here's a beauty goal by Joe. They were just too strong for the Blues in the first two games. The Blues kept coming in game 3. And Scott Melanie finally got one past Waugh. In overtime, it looked like Yale got the winner, but a great save by Turek. Scott Young gets the winner on the 60th shot against Patrick. Can you imagine? Game 4. The Blues took an early lead, but the Avs forced overtime. And in overtime, Blake pitches in and Yale taps her home. In Game 5, Brent Johnson goes in the net for the Blues. But it's Patrick who keeps it going. What a save. Joe Sakic with the winner on a power play, no less. They win it in 5 games, but the last 3 games go into overtime, and Joe and his buddies are off to meet the Devils. It's the Devils and the Avalanche for the Stanley Cup. Patrick and Martin are getting ready. Hey, folks, there's a lot of talent there and a lot of money there, too. When you're 4 wins away from the cup, things can get nasty. And then there's some beauty goals, too. Here's a nice one by Drury. And one by Joe. Think there was a little goalie interference on this one, folks? Patrick took a lot of heat on this one, and most everybody wrote off the Avalanche, but I knew Patrick would dig down. You know he'd be ready the next game. It went to Game 7, and they wanted to win it for Raymond. In Game 7, the difference between winning and losing can be a goalpost and a rebound. The Avalanche win the cup in 7 games. Patrick was the MVP for sure. Joe gives the cup to Bork. Boy, he's waited a long time for this. Let's see some more beauty goals. Havel with some singers. Boy, he loves this score. Verada, top corner, was on edge. Bertuzzi on Hasek. Hey, where were you when we needed you in the Olympics? Nice move by Nieuwendyk. Never saw this one before. Mario's first goal back. Some more magic from Mario. Stick on the ice again, kids. Alex with a nice one. Jaeger. David with a wrister. DeVries. Hey, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You can't run out of bounds in hockey. And you don't run a smaller teammate when Trevor Linden's around. Hockey player Gary Roberts. You better keep your head up when he's around. Can you believe 4 hits in 1 shift? What a hockey player. Hey folks, it's that time again, tea time. Now look, if you don't like this stuff, you can turn it off, but we're going to start with 2 of my buddies. You ready, guys? Let's go. Well, it's Chris Gratton and Joe Thornton, 2 of my favorites. I don't know what started this year, but they're 2 big guys going. Now watch the helmet hang around. I feel sorry for Chris on this one, but Joe's a left-hander. I never knew that. Boy, are they mad at one another. See, he holds up a little. He could have really corked him. I think he was going to let him off the hook until Chris hit him back. Now he gets the sweater over his head. He lets up a little again. These two guys really went at it, but you see the linesmen are don't want to jump in too early, but he stops here. He could have brought an uppercut. Two good guys, nobody hurt. Love them both. All right, it's Simpson and Corson. They're getting ready. Look at Simpson laughing. He's enjoying this. I hated to fight those guys that laugh when you hit them, and then they like to fight, but they keep going. Simpson's a left-hander. I hated fighting those guys. Shane and them going. Let's watch for a minute. Uppercuts. Simpson's pretty good. Fighting one of the best in Corson. Corson's ready to go. They got a hold of one another. They're coming near the end, folks. Now Corson's using the left-hander. Still laughing at the end. Hey, like I said, nobody hurt. They had a good time. All right, good guys. I think Shane should get a haircut, though.
Hey, folks, that's Lucky 13. I hope you loved it because I love doing it for you. We've got some great advice for young coaches coming up afterwards. Okay, folks, see you next year. Lord willing. Oh. Bit me. Right there. Look. Got me right there.
Yes, it's
Nice going, Blue. Oh, well, what do I do for these tapes, I'll tell you.
And these are my favorite plays from the tape.
Folks, I'm just going to give you some advice for 6- and 7-year-olds. They're the best to watch. I love watching them, but I got some advice for you, okay? You know, as I go around the rinks, I go around, I see the 6- and 7-year-olders, and, you know, it really bothers me when I hear a coach say, positional play, and then they have them lining up for the face-offs. 6 years old. It's absolutely ridiculous to be teaching kids positional play and back-checking at 6 and 7. What they should be doing is getting the puck, moving the puck. I remember I used to, when I had a hockey school, they loved it. Monkey on a string. Everybody went around skating and shoot. Positional play, absolutely ridiculous. And this thing, when they call an offside, it's off this side this much, and you have linesmen out there, and then they call it offside. Then they don't go and tell the kid why they blew the whistle. It's ridiculous. You have to go, don't go ahead. Hey, drop the puck, the kid goes offside again. It's ridiculous. You have to keep the game going. Keep the practice going. Keep the games going. They have to skate. This nonsense of lining up, what are you paying, $150 an hour for ice? It's ridiculous. Keep the kids skating. If they're a little more offside like that, so what at 6 and 7? Let them go. It's absolutely nuts. And some of you coaches, yelling and screaming at 16-year-old kids. I just can't believe it, 6-year-old kids, that you'd be yelling at kids to play positional hockey and skate harder, skate harder. Let them have fun. And then, what's this here I hear about a top official? I'm not going to mention his name. He comes out in the paper and on TV and says, "Oh, we're going to have practices instead of games, and we're going to have more drills." Now, get this: more drills and have fun. We want them to have fun. Well, you know, kids, as you're watching out there, drills are not fun. What you do is, sure, you got to have drills. Of course you do. But I asked you, you're sitting there now, and you older guys too, hey, if the coach says we're going to do drills, you go, something like that. But he says we're going to scrimmage, hey, let's go, because you have fun. That's the way it is. It's got to have fun. When I hear this nonsense that we're going to have an hour without pucks, we're going to have an hour without sticks sometimes and skating, what fun is that? It's no fun at all. And you've seen them in hockey schools and that doing those drills, and the kids are over in the corner. Oh, they can hardly wait to get the scrimmage going. And I've seen hockey schools where they don't scrimmage at all. It's absolutely ridiculous not to scrimmage and have fun. So quit yelling at the kids. Quit talking about positional play, calling offsides this much. I often wonder if it was better when we had some two old fathers out there during the game explaining things to them. Don't go offside, talk to them. Skating, handling the puck, that's the name of the game. And another thing I don't like when I hear coaches, pass the puck, pass the puck. What if Buckle McDonald, Bobby Orr? What if they said, pass the puck all the time? What if Walter Gretzky had said to Wayne, pass the puck all the time, pass the puck? Are you kidding me? He used to go to tournaments and score 300 goals on a weekend. How many times did he pass the puck? You gotta handle the puck. The one thing the Europeans have over us, is one over in Europe, is they handle the puck. Every scrimmage, every little exercise they do, they always handle the puck. That's what you have to do. You know, I go sometimes to practices and I can tell a breakout play. Here's what they do. The young defenseman gets the puck, he puts it over the left winger puts it to the center, puts it over there. What good's that? You got to handle the puck. Look at Stevie Yzerman. Look at Shanahan. Look at Joe Sakic. You got to handle the puck. I know a lot of guys, Sergei Berezin, when he used to be with the Leafs, everybody used to criticize him. Well, he scored goals, didn't he? And he shot the puck. How many times have you heard the coaches, shoot the puck? Handle the puck. The most important thing after skating. Get going. Quit telling the kids to pass the puck. I remember I went down to see this one team. The kid was about 7 years old. He was absolutely dynamite. I thought he was going to be another Gretzky. And I went back a month later, and I looked out there. I could hardly notice him. I know what happened. The coach went to him and said, hey, don't be such a puck hog. Pass the puck to your teammates. So what happens? He never improved, and he quit hockey. It was no fun for him anymore. Let the other kids get as strong as take the puck off him and get going yourself. You can't have kids individuality. Is that how you say it? I don't know. I'll have to ask McLean about that one. But quit passing the puck all the time. You got to learn to handle a puck and go with it, all right? Don't keep hollering, pass the puck. And kids, I'm going to say it again to you. Hockey parents are the best parents in the world, the most unselfish, generous parents in the world. Who else would get up at 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning, pay all that money? Thousands they pay for equipment. Hundreds of dollars they pay for the ice time. Travel miles, put the car to wreck. You know what it's like? Stand and freeze all the time, drinking that awful coffee early in the morning. Hey, I'm not going to knock other sports, but it's not like soccer. You know, I see them, they go a nice sunny day, pull out the lawn chair, let's watch the kid run up and down. What do I buy? Running shoes, some shorts. Basketball. Let's talk basketball. Take them to the court, running shoes and shorts. Baseball, drop them off and play. No, they have to get up at 6 in the morning. They have to start the car. They have to go. But you know, it's a funny thing that I always like. We separate the wheat from the chaff very, very early. Nobody would be in hockey unless they're dedicated. So the people that are gone. That's what I like. Now, kids, once in a while, you go up and thank your parents, because I'll tell you something, they're the best, most unselfish people in the world, and they love you. Nobody else would pay the money and pay the price they do. Okay, folks, we're done for another year. Lucky 13. I couldn't bring Blue back, bit me right here. All right, Lord willing, we'll see you next year. Let's go. Is that okay? Yeah. Want one more? I'll do one more. Who's the other guy? Bro, you want to do it? You don't need Mario, and I don't want to say Mario and Yager. They're two floaters. Oh, is it okay? Okay. You know, Joe Sakic, he was picked the most valuable player, and why not? No. You know, Joe Sakic, in the playoffs, he was picked the most valuable player. You see the flag go up right in front of the TV? Hey, Joe Sakic, my buddy, he's a beauty. No, I'm going to do that again. Yeah, that's what I like. Oh. I like it like that. Okay. Ready to go? Yep. All right, here's two guys what I call hockey players. Man, and Bridge and Shanahan. Brendan. Hey, Brendan Shanahan. I was going to say Joe Sakic. I got him on my mind. Hey, here's two hockey players that I call hockey players. Brian Shanahan.
I just said Shanahan and Eisner.
Yeah. Better touch me up again.
Yeah.
Beauty. Blue's ready to go. Okay. Hey, welcome to. Okay, hold still. Oh, whoa. Bit me. Right there. Look. Got me right there.
Yeah, she did too.
Nice going, Blue. Oh, well, what do I do for these tapes? I'll tell you.